today we want to talk about demand and portfolio management. But what is the demand and portfolio management? It's the process which makes synchronization between demand, market, and company capabilities. It guarantees the investment alignment with the strategic objectives, and it makes priority between demand and requirements when the resources are not enough. And the purpose is standardizing and promoting an integrated management of the business units and ICT to guide the investments in terms of new and ongoing initiatives. The process starts with the strategy and finish with the execution. Therefore, demand and portfolio management is a connection between these two phases. Inside the demand and portfolio management, we can explore different steps: collect, qualify, approve, and program and project plan. In collecting phase, we need to collect all the requirements, which are different types such as new product development, business units, compliances, evolution of IT solutions, and idea and innovation. Inside the qualify phase, we have to qualify the investments and analyze the feasibility of each requirement in terms of budget, resource capacity, and technical aspect. In approve phase, we need to analyze investment versus our constraints, and we need to approve a set of investments and set up budget and resource for them. And in the last phase, as we have approved some investments, then we can have master plan for all the projects and program, then we can have time scheduling, and then we can have resource and cost planning. The first and second phase, as collecting and qualifying, are related to the demand management, which we will see them now inside the CA PPM environment. To see the idea page, we can go to home and click on the idea. From here you are present with the idea list page. It is present the list of the idea which is related to our different business units. And in the lower part of the page you can do save, delete, or add the other idea. For creating the idea you need to click on the new and go to the new page, which you need to allocate one partition to present this idea is belong to which part of the organization, for example IT department. After that you need to do next and go to the other page and try to fill the attributes and requirements. Everything that we show can be a sample. All data can be customized as required. Therefore you can add the name for the idea. Then you have the idea type. Here you can show that this idea has the possibility to be in different type: major project, application change, proposal, or other. You can choose your idea category, but just remind that the selection in the drop down for idea category will change depending on the selection made for idea type. So these two attributes are related to each other, and if you choose major project in the idea type, then you can see that just some limited options can be chosen in idea category. For example, here in idea type I choose the major project, and here for the idea category you have these four types of category. But if I choose another option for the idea type, for example application change, then I can have other type of the category. The manager is the person who will receive a CA PPM action item to approve this new idea. Use the auto suggest or browse feature and select yourself. Also you can change the status of the idea as well. Then you can do save, and whenever you need you can change the status, progress, start date, finish date, and so on. After creating and saving general information about your idea, you are presented with detailed information page. These pages can be used to capture and share additional components about your idea. In the Properties drop-down, you will see various subpages. Besides subpages, you have different tabs which can help to support your idea and contain additional data elements that is related to the idea. CA PPM subpages and tabs can insert it during the life cycle of the requirements, and different people can insert data on different timing. Depending on your process, workflow can support the team to go ahead and complete the process, review and approve the requirements. Depending on your process, we are able to acquire all relevant information of that specific idea. For instance, depending on the amount of the budget or depending on the risk of the idea, the complexity level of the workflow could be different. In the subpages, we have description, includes description, impacts, dependencies, risks, and benefits. Another subpage is alignment and risks, which is designing to determine the business alignment based on answering a series of questions that fit your organization. Additionally, you can enter the goal for the new idea as well as the priority, risk, and whether or not the idea is required. After filling required parts, the business alignment score is automatically calculated. Priority is depending on different factors such as corporate priority, business unit priority, regulatory compliance, and other attributes. In the other subpage, we have financial summary. For gathering the high level of the cost and benefit plan of the idea, we will use this subpage. Also, after filling required part of capital cost, operation cost, benefit plan, and other required parts, then you can have different indicators automatically calculated by the system. You will have this information in details when you are filling the tab of financial plan, such as cost plan, benefit plan, and budget plan. Inside the tab of team, you can have the list of the required roles, teams or named resources to relative idea with the estimated allocation. In financial plans, you can have cost plan, benefit plan, and budget plan page. You can create, for example, your cost plan and detailed cost for operating and capital cost. For example, here in new manual, you can name your plan, what is your plan name, the description, what can be the period type, and what can be the start date and finish date, and then you can do save and return. But before doing save and return, you can go to the grouping attributes, that what is your cost type and what is your transaction type. For example, here you can do save and return, and if you go to inside this created cost plan and do add, then you can choose the cost type, which can be capital and operating, then add, and in the transaction class you can choose between these clusters that what can be included in this type of cost. For example, hardware, travel, software, and so on, and do add, and then again save and return. Now we have the list of the cost type, and we can distribute our cost plan between the different periods. For example, here in hardware cost, we can allocate the amount of cost for the first month and for the second month, and again for software as well. And then if you continue, and then if you do save, you can see the total cost here in this page. Also, you can do the same path for creating benefit plan and budget plan. Again, come back into the properties. Here in the status, you see that we have different type of the status: approve, incomplete, rejected, or submit for approval. If I do submit for approval, then it will direct to the process manager or to the owner of the idea for review. The owner has now received an action item notification automatically from the embedded workflow process. Therefore, the idea can be approved, can be suspended, to be reviewed, and following time or rejected. The approve idea, if I approve it, the approve idea can be converted to the project or other investments. Here, in this option, I can do convert to the other investment, for example, project, and do next and so on. Some workflow can operate on the idea or requirements, and we can see which workflow is active. To view the process of the idea, you can click on the process tab, click on the down arrow and select available. Click on the process flow diagram on the left part of the page to display a graphical representation of the idea initiation process. Here you can see the detailed steps of this idea. Coming back to the demand and portfolio phases, approve step is relative to the portfolio management. All the requirements and idea are existing due to helping the business growth, and we can consider additional funding for reaching to our goals. Based on the goal and the considered budget for it, we can choose between the list of the investment and requirement to understand which one has most important and more aligned with the business target. Portfolio is a collection of the investments view and also the target, which can understand what is the cost and resource demand for each project compared to the overall target. Portfolio includes different investments of new idea, requests or change requests. By portfolio, we can manage our investments in a higher level by making synchronization between investments and the portfolio by running some functions in the system. Portfolio includes the copy of the investments, and whenever we change information inside the portfolio, it doesn't change the information on the original investments. Now I will go to the CA PPM system to show you portfolio functionalities. From Home, Portfolio Management, you can select Portfolios. Here you can create a new portfolio and enter the general information related to the portfolio, such as total cost, benefits, roles, start and finish dates, and so on. But because before already we have a portfolio, we don't need to create a new, and I can show you one of them. We can have more than one portfolio as well. I can go to one of them, and here you can see we have different tabs with detailed information related to portfolio. In Content Editor, you can decide which investment can be included in the portfolio, and also you can insert the rules in the Power Filter section to select the subset of that investments. In the Investments tab, we can see the whole list of the investments which are inside that portfolio with all of their details information such as planned cost, benefits, and roles. Also, we can have a configuration tab to add other columns, whatever you want, to the page of the investment. Plan is the subset of your portfolio which allow you to explore the alternatives and what if scenario with different targets based on organization goals. For example, cost reduction, goal alignment, high ROI, low risk, and other scenarios. As a portfolio manager, we want to understand how the portfolio works against different plans. Based on different plans which we have for that portfolio, we can have our detailed target in target page. Here we have three main part of the cost, benefits, and resources. We will have our target column and the distributed target in different months as well. After having the distributed target, we can understand how much budget we have or how much we are in shortage, and then we can decide about changing the target data or not. CA PPM Portfolio Management gives you the information you need to continually optimize your portfolio. In addition, execute on the strategy. Here, in waterline page, you can see the list of the approved and unapproved portfolio and the line, which shows investments that are more important are above the line and the rest are under. Also in this page we can define ranking rules, and after that we can run the ranking rules. Then based on these different rules and variables which we created, we can prioritize between investment, and based on the managers and the stakeholders feedback related to portfolio view, then we can re-rank the investment in order to complete the path of the portfolio creation. You can move the line above or down depending on your target meeting. Planned cost, planned capital and planned OPEX will allow you to select more initiatives. Based on these variables, you can drop up or down the waterline and continue your what if scenario. After trying different what if scenarios and choosing the investments above the line, then investments are prioritized and finalized. For each portfolio, you can see the target cost. This represents the budget for that particular portfolio. Planned costs represent the sum of the investment in that portfolio are distributed to planned variance, tell us if we have extra money to fund more work. Also, we can set overall benefit target for our portfolio. In a scorecard, we will understand the position of each investment on a specific plan in terms of risk. Here we have low risk, medium risk, high risk, and default bucket. In dependencies, we can see which investments are depend to other investment. In this case, we can understand which investments are related to each other, and if we need to change some data in one of them, then it can affect to others as well. For example, here, e-commerce portal has dependencies to 3 other investments, and if I open it, I can see to which investment it can have affection. In comparison tab, we can compare 2 plans with each other. For example, here, the base plan, I can choose portfolio plan, and in the second plan, I can choose cost reduction and then do filter. And in detail, I can have a comparison between these 2 plans together. In Analysis tab, we can understand how many percentage that cost, planned and role. Planned will affect on the important parameter of the organization, such as cost reduction, grow the business, infrastructure improvement, and also maintenance the business. For example, by this planned cost, we can have 39% impact on the cost reduction, 49% on growth of the business, and 12% on the maintenance of the business. Also, we can organize portfolio for different departments of the organization and understand what is the impact of that portfolio in each department beside entire business view. This was all brief issues related to demand management, starting from idea and ending with portfolio management, in order to identify which ideas and demands are more important for the enterprise. And then in next phases of the work, we can present execution phase, which includes project management and relative issues such as time, budget, and resources. I hope this webcast can help you to understand what is the role of the CA PPM in demand management. Thanks for watching and joining.